Now, the God's visitation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk through some Old Testament verses to show you how this gets used in the text, depending on the context. So if we start at Psalm 8, this is, of course, Psalm 8. You can turn there if you want. If not, I put it on your sheet. So Psalm 8 is this amazing psalm about what it means to be a human being in God's creation. And then the psalmist goes down this path and he says, he's looking up at the night sky. And he says, God, I can't believe that you would pay attention to a human being, right? So when you go out on a really dark night, or you go out to the mountains or out to the desert and you look up at the night sky, a sense of awe happens. That's the sense you get. You're laying there, it's so vast, and the awe is a combination of two things. There's a recognition of how small you are, so there's a sense of fear because I'm so small. At the same time, you're observing something that's so transcendent. We still don't know the mysteries of what's out there today. It's so transcendent. So the psalmist is looking up at the night sky, and then he's realizing, I'm so small, yet God, you pay attention to me. And that's what the night sky can do to you. Gives you that sensation of awe and how big God's universe is. So if we look at Psalm 8, verse 3 goes like this. When I consider your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars, which you have set in place. So that's what the psalmist is doing, looking up at the stars, and he gets that overwhelming sense of awe, which makes him feel small. And then he says this, what is mankind that you are mindful of them? Human beings, that you would care for them. Now notice that care for them. God, I'm so small, and yet you care for me. Now that word care right there is pakad. What is mankind that you would visit us? So I think that if you have the King James or the New King James, I think it says visit. God visits all of us. We can't even understand how that happens, but he does it. And he cares for us. That's at least in the positive sense, right? So this is one of the great verses in the Bible that has pakad in it. But it's all about God wants to visit the human being. What an amazing God that is in the world that we live in. It's not just forces in the world that are random and trying to crush you. It's a God who cares for you. I want to give you something to help you think about this concept. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a statement on the screen.